Hello and welcome to a bright and sunny My Country Garden. We're in April now, so the jobs keep mounting up. I've got a ton of things that I want to get done today. I've got the whole day to spend out here, and because the clocks have now changed, I've got plenty of time into the evening as well. So I'm going to be sowing some seeds, transplanting some plants, and moving a bed, maybe even building a few beds. I've got lots that I want to try and achieve. Follow along and see how much of that I manage. Oh, great. I have got a bird box, a nest box behind me that blue tits have definitely been showing an interest in, and they've been in and out for a week or so now. But behind you there is another nest box, and it's one designed for great tits, and I've just seen a great tit go in. Yay! Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to be sowing some sunflowers now, and I'm sort of joining in on a grow along that is being run by Linda at the Feel Good Garden. And really it's just a chance for people who want to get involved to sort of show the sunflowers that they're going to be growing, and hopefully some of these sunflowers are going to be a bit unusual. And then we can follow along with how everyone's sunflowers are getting on. So I have got a bunch of sunflowers that I'm going to grow, or hopefully I'm going to sow anyway. There's one that hasn't arrived yet. I hope it does arrive eventually, but in the meantime I do have a batch of sunflowers that I'm going to be sowing. First of all, I'm going to be sowing a little dwarf multi-headed sunflower, just an ordinary dwarf multi-headed yellow. Because I've got a big garden and I do want to fill it with as much colour as possible this year. Good for the soul and also good for the pollinators. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by that little great tit that's just gone in the box again. Yay! Anyway, so a dwarf multi-headed yellow. And then I have another small one, it's called Little Dorrit. And again, this is a small one. This grows to about 2 feet tall. Then I have one that I think is a favourite with lots of people. It's called Teddy Bear, and it is a fluffy, fluffy-headed sunflower. And again, that's only going to go to about 60 centimetres, so a couple of feet there. Oh, it's a bit breezy today. But as well as Teddy Bear, where's this wind come from? As well as Teddy Bear, I'm going to be growing Sun King, and Sun King is a taller version really. It is got the fluffy double sort of heads, and it gets to 6 feet tall. And then we have a couple of unusual coloured ones. I've got one that's called Black Magic, and it's a very dark maroon coloured sunflower. And then, I've never grown that one before, and then we have one that's just called Red Sunflower. And it is a red sunflower. I also have one in order. I just went onto Amazon actually, and it's a pink sunflower, but it hasn't arrived yet. Hopefully it'll arrive at some point. And how pink that will be, well, we'll see. But yeah, that's the batch that I'm going to be sowing today. Okay, so how am I going to sow these sunflowers? Plain and simply, I've got these little plastic cell trays that I must have got some plants in at some point, so I just saved them. So I've got lots of these, and I'm just going to be popping the sunflower seeds in here. For the bigger seeds, I'll probably put 2 in a cell. For the smaller ones, I may put 3 in a cell. So I'm not using them as let's have one plant in and I can take that out and put it somewhere. I'm just going to, grow a couple or maybe 3 in each of these, and then I will prick them out and put them into bigger pots once they have germinated.
Closer, dance for me. Easy tiger, easy, let your hair down. Come closer, let me
Okay, this is what the polytunnel is currently looking like. Let me give you a quick tour. Down here we have some Nuplu Ultra Peas, some Oregon Sugar Snap and some Kent Blue. And they're coming up nicely. And then I've got a tray of a variety of things here. So you can see there is cabbage Golden Acre, cabbage Greyhound, cabbage Luzia, sprouts, Ruby Crunch, Swede Gowrie and turnip Milan Purple. Lots of nice seedlings there. I just yesterday put this little plastic shelving unit in here. Up at the top we've got Stromboli Calabrese. In here, what have we got? We have salad beet bull's blood, sprouts Trafalgar and rainbow chard. Not a great germination of the rainbow chard. I can take that off now, that lid. Here we have poppy love affair. These are sorry looking little seedlings, but they were germinated in the polytunnel. I've just transplanted them into that wee cell. Here we have my first early potatoes, and these are rocket, and I've put them into little pots to germinate, and then I will transplant them into bigger pots. And you can see that we've got a little bit of action there. I do have down here 2 other pots which were munched, which I'm a bit disappointed about. So a rodent of some description has got in here. Chimidirapa or broccoli rab. We've got plenty of that going. Then we've got spearmint in a pot. I've got more of that. And here is some more potatoes. This was the Manitou potato that I grew last year, and I cut this into 3 pieces because there was plenty of chits, and I'm growing them on in a pot, in little pots. Then I'll put them into a bigger pot. That's a main crop though, so I mean we're a bit early with that really. Down here we have more mint. This is Corsican mint. This is the mint that is in the drink creme de menthe. And then we've got more spearmint in a larger pot there. Moving over, we have Calabrese, Green Magic, spinach, beetroot, bona and mustard greens. These were only sown quite recently, so they're just starting to germinate. Then we've got a pile of onions. We have Onion Exhibition, which I grew last year, and they were great. We've got a red onion, Carmen, and then we've got Fasto. These were the first onions I sowed. I sowed these on Boxing Day. They are looking a bit peely-wally. I'm half thinking I might actually just put them out. What's the roots? Oh God, look, there's the root situation there. Right, I'm going to put these out today, and hopefully they will then come on leaps and bounds, because they're just looking a bit bleh in the cells now. Here's some more onions. These were the remainder of my exhibition onions, and I just put little groups of them in these little pots. Moving over, we have, avoid the brush, Hydrangea paniculata Skyfall. So this was one of the bare roots that I got from Farmer Gracie. Then we have some more flowers. We've got some slightly more mature poppy love affair, and we've got some white daisies. That's all that was on the packet, white daisy. And I just transplanted these yesterday actually. Then we've got some snapdragons. I've got lots of snapdragons. So these are a variety of different types, and these came, pretty much all of them came from Robin at Robin Gardens. Down here we have some more beetroot, Pablo, we've got kohlrabi, purple delicacy, and we've got beet leaf or rhubarb chard, and I've only got a couple there, which is disappointing. Then I have leeks, prize taker, and nothing there at the minute. Oh no, there is. There is, I just couldn't see it. So I think we're just starting to get some action there. Remainder of my strawberry runners that I put in pots. They've been in here all winter. I do need to do something with them. They're looking a bit icky. Then we come to the little grow house inside the polytunnel. And we have more chimidirapa. We've got now, we've got some skipper cauliflower. So that's the skipper cauliflower, as is that. And I have got an experiment here. I've got 2 King of the North sweet peppers, and the rest are indoors, but indoors is as jam-packed as out here. So I thought I would just put these peppers in here and see if they survive. I don't think we're having any really cold temperatures, and they're in this sort of grow house in the polytunnel, so we'll see. Then we have a couple more of the snapdragons, and they're looking great. And then we have lettuce. So we've got lettuce freckles here. We have got lettuce elf ears oak here. I'll just skip round to here, and you can see I've got a collection of lettuce here. Grenoble, Marvel of Four Seasons, more elf ear oak, flashy lightning bitter oak, and more Marvel of Four Seasons. And while I'm here, we've got some lovage, and we have some rinky-dinky little flowers. So we've got stock early bird, we've got nicotiana, it says own, so these were from my seed last year, and we've got some cornflowers from my cornflowers last year. Right, back in here then, lots more skipper cauliflower. In here is some more sweet peas. I'm just keeping them covered because I don't want them eaten. So there, another little batch of sweet peas. I didn't do them till a couple of weeks ago, really. Going down, and in here we have, this is where the chimidirapa was, so there's not much left there, but there is a few poppy love affairs. Then we've got some more flashy lightning oak lettuce there. We have some more sad looking, dead looking in fact, poppy love affairs there, and some dill. And then at the back, probably doesn't need the lid on, we've got some Calabrese Iron Man and cabbage Calabos. What else? What else? Here are the bare roots, more of the bare roots from Farmer Gracie. So we've got a couple of clematis that are coming on leaps and bounds actually. We've got 4 astilbe, which are starting to come. And then here is the first pot of carrots that I've sown. Nothing yet because they were only sown last week, but that's a carrot called Aaron. So it's all happening in the polytunnel, and I'm now going to have to move things around to make space for the sunflowers that I've just sown. Okay, I'm being a bit blinded by the sunshine here, but these are the fasto onions that I'm going to put in this bed now because they're looking a wee bit worse for wear. I think they've just been in these cells for too long, and you can see the roots coming out the bottom. Let's actually just take one of them out and have a look. So there's roots there. They're not completely root bound or by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely think these would benefit from being put out in the bed now. So that's what I'm going to do. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28. So I don't know whether I'm going to get them all in this bed. I'll have a little think. Where's my dibber? I shall make some holes and see what looks right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 is 25. Okay, should be able to get them all in. No, don't you be jumping in this bed, missus. It's out of bounds now. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. No, away. Okay, that's 25 in there. I've got 3 spares. I'll maybe just pop into slightly bigger pots and let them grow on a little bit. There you can see the onions. Now what I'm going to do is get some debris netting and cover them up. 1, to keep the chickens out, and 2, to keep any other critters out. Right, I've got some little flower seedlings that I want to transplant on into cell tray. In this particular tray there's amaranthus, or love lies bleeding, and also strawflower. So I'll start with the amaranthus and see how many of those I have, and if there's enough room in this tray I will put in the strawflowers as well. I also have some dwarf snapdragons. I think probably a couple of those could do with being transplanted on as well. So I've got another cell tray that I'll do that with. Oh, and I also have a few little poppies. These are poppies nudicans, nudicol, I think. Right. Oh, what are you saying? Right, I think I've got quite a lot of these. Oh, so we'll just out a little bunch out and pop them in. That little noise, if you heard it, is the crow of a male quail. It's not something that you hear every day if you've not got quail. That's the amaranthus. So I've got 8 rows or 8 cells left. So I think maybe I'll put these poppies in because there's too many of the straw flowers. There we go. Right, straw flowers. There we go. Okay, we've moved on by a couple of days because I didn't get everything finished. And what we're looking at here is my small chicken run. If I just swing around, here's the big chicken run. It's nice and sunny today again, yay. And the small chicken run it used to be just a sort of isolation run and coop for new arrivals or sick hens. But now it's become a permanent residence for these two girls. The girl in the front is Winnie and the girl at the back is Brenda. And Winnie is almost blind. So we had to pull Winnie out of the main flock because they were picking on her. So she had to live away from the main flock and we couldn't have her living on her own. And Brenda was a little, well, big, shy girl and she got on well with Winnie. So Brenda has moved in and is also living over here. So the two of them have got plenty of space. I actually built an extension recently, so we've got this extension. It's an L shape around there. And there's their own coop in there. And they stay in there except when I'm in the garden, just like the other girls do. They don't get out of their run unless I'm in the garden. And then we've got this netting, which is chicken poultry netting, and it's designed just to keep chickens out. Now it wouldn't keep out any predators, your foxes could easily jump over that or go under it, but it's just really to separate the girls so that when I'm working in the garden these two can come out to play and the rest of the flock are out, but they can't pick on these two because chickens are little horrors in that way. So what you can see here is a bed that I had leeks in, and I had the sweet pea teepee in the year before that, and it's in the middle of this little chicken area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to relocate that raised bed. But actually I'm going to leave some of the earth there because chickens like to dust bath, and this is an area that these two girls like to go into and dust bath. But actually because Winnie here can't see very well, she can't really get up the step into the raised bed. I have to lift her in, and then if I'm not around and she tries to get out, she'll fall flat on her wee face. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a small log surround, so hopefully Winnie will be able to get in. Brenda can get in and out easily enough, but hopefully Winnie will be able to get in. And yeah, and then take the bed somewhere else in the garden to grow some more veg. So that's the plan now. Brenda's just going to have a sunbathe there. Oh, look, she stood back up. Let's see if she'll do it again. Okay, I've moved up to the back corner of the garden, and if I just swing round, Some nice spring colour there. And this little pile of rubble is where I'm going to be putting the raised bed that I'm taking out of the little chicken area. So I'm going to have to move all of this stuff first and sort of level it off as best as I can. Then I can move the bed over. Beasties, is it beasties, is it? Watch out the way. Chickens. Oh. Oh. Can't do anything with digging without a chicken or 5 appearing. Just watch yourself, I don't want to get you. That'll do for now. Okay, that's me got the bed moved, and I've got some weed suppressant fabric in there. Now that isn't going to be an ordinary raised bed. I have some plans for that, but I'll show you that in my next video. But for now, I'm going to fill it up with compost, etc. Spent compost and bits and pieces around the garden, as well as some bought in compost. And then I'm going to do some work on it in the next video, and you'll see what its true purpose is. And this is what I've done for the girls. Little Winnie and Brenda. So I've used just some plastic border, sort of edging stuff, and a little branch at the front. I'm thinking what I might do is put a little roof over it, just to keep the worst of the weather out, although it is under a tree. But that should do them. Winnie has already been in and out of it, so she can actually get in and out herself, which was one of the purposes of this. So hopefully Winnie Woo, that will have been worthwhile for you. Eh? And Brenda too. So I'd love to hear what you've been up to and whether you're managing to tick everything off your to-do lists, unlike me that took a couple of days to get most of the stuff off my to-do list, although there's more to-do lists coming up. There's never a shortage of things to do. But how are you getting on with yours anyway? And have you got any tips for making sure that you get things done? Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.